Ricardo Rosselló. Ricardo Rosselló is the son of Pedro Rosselló. Pedro Rosselló is the most corrupt governor in the history of Puerto Rico. He, in conjunction with of companies, corporations from the United States and other countries, pillaged Puerto Rico, and he's the one who started this, the current spending spree and vulture capitalism that created to the Puerto Rico's debt that we have today. 40 of his administration officials were incarcerated or indicted, and not miraculously, but purposely. He was never indicted because it's all in a concerted effort to sack the Puerto Rican taxpayer and for the benefit of outside corporations. His son is now governor, and he has proceeded to turn Puerto Rico into his cash cow, just like his daddy did, just like the previous governor from the Aníbal García Padilla administration from the opposing party did. Fortuño, along with his Wall Street buddies, he pillaged some more, a gazillion, to the tune of $17 billion. Fortuño left Puerto Rican stuck with it. Nobody knows where that money, exactly where it went, but most of it went to his Wall Street partners, and he now is one of the big partners in one of his Wall Street firms. Rosselló, and the reason he's racist, and I'm saying he's racist, is because that's exactly what he is. He is bringing all his buddies from Ivy League colleges where he went to in the United States, and giving them positions in Puerto Rican government. The Puerto Rican Education Secretary, her name is Julia Kelleher. She's an openly racist white lady, and she treats Puerto Rican teachers like garbage. She openly says that there is no one in Puerto Rico who can perform the job of assisting her. So she's going to hire somebody from the United States. That's a completely racist statement, and it's false. We have talent coming out of the ears. Some of the best engineering medical schools on the planet are in Puerto Rico. We constantly have children, our children, that come out of Recinto Universitario de Mayagüez, our University of Puerto Rico engineering school, and they're constantly being hired before they're given contracts with NASA and aerospace industries, engineering companies all over the planet before they graduate, because it's one of the best engineering schools on the planet in Puerto Rico, in my little island nation. So this lady who, barely speaks Spanish, she is the director of the Education Department of Puerto Rico. She doesn't know shit about the Puerto Rican history or important states people. She doesn't know about the important people in the history of the education of system in Puerto Rico. So basically, she just issued an order for Puerto Rican teachers and the school directors to not talk to. It's prohibited to talk to the press for Puerto Rican school directors. She closed 169 or 170 schools to allegedly save $5 million. All those kids, they had to scramble to find schools. Those parents had to, and then she, in the same time, right after, a little bit after she closed the school, to save $5 million, she hires one of her buddies. She's basically a consultant. That's what it is. She's just a Wall Street vulture, another one. She gets paid $250,000 for a job that should pay in Puerto Rico about 70, because she's friends with the governor, and they used to work together in college in the United States. She yells she calls the teachers lazy. She doesn't provide enough money in Puerto Rican schools to even buy toilet paper. Children, my friends, are telling me this. They said, my children have coming home asking for donations so we can buy toilet paper and stuff for the school. She's not approving funds for that. Yet she comes and approves a $17 million contract to one of her friends to give classes to children on how to behave, meaning teaching Puerto Rican children manners, as if Puerto Rican children were some type of animal or savage or something like that. It's just blatantly racist every time this woman opens her mouth against Puerto Ricans. Recently, about a week ago, the governor, Puerto Rico governor, appointed, through his buddies, he appointed director of tourism development in Puerto Rico. They're going to pay him, I think it's like $300,000 a year, plus 30% bonus. It's a sweetheart deal. This guy, I forgot his name, but look it up. He is under investigation for corruption. And now, if the guy doesn't know jack shit about the Puerto Rican tourism industry, he worked in Puerto Rico for a contract a few months, but now he's going to be directing the Office of Promoting Tourism for Puerto Rico. He doesn't know anything about Puerto Rican tourism, but he's white and he's American, and he's friends with the Puerto Rican governor. So that's a second example of racism in Puerto Rico. From this guy, this administration, Ricardo Rosselló. I can think of about 10 of my friends in Puerto Rico who are super experienced and super talented and super knowledgeable about the tourism industry in Puerto Rico, that will do a way better job. Just yesterday, it was appointed, the guy who gets appointed to direct the Puerto Rican Energy Authority is some white guy from the United States who has never ever done shit with Puerto Rican Electrical Authority, who doesn't know anything about our grid, about our culture, about nothing. But he's friends with the governor and the Financial Control Board, so he's going to get $450,000 a year, where the Puerto Rican guy was going to make, I think he was making like 200 or something, or 150. So the disparity in pay based on nationality and race is outrageous. Also, the Financial Control Board, which is nothing more than a 7-member dictatorship made up of people appointed by the United States government, United States Congress. They're getting ready to steal the pensions, a percentage of the pensions of 75% of the Puerto Ricans, of Puerto Rican retiree elderly people, which these pensions are already low. I mean, they're already, $800 a month or some shit like that. Yet here they are. The person who's leading this theft by the Financial Control Board, her last name is Jaresco, and she is responsible for stealing the pensions of thousands of old people in Ukraine. She's hated, and rightfully so, by the Ukrainian people. And so basically what we have in Puerto Rico is a pillaging of Puerto Ricans at the hands of outside corporations and Wall Street, by a bunch of white people from the United States. And shocker, and people say, "Oh, you're being racist." No, I'm not being racist, man. I'm being accurate. I'm being accurate. There's a crime being perpetrated against the Puerto Rican people right now as we speak. The last racket that the Trump administration tried to shove down our throat was the $300 million contract, and it was supervised by the people in the Rosello, like they say, Rosello, Puerto Rican governor, $300 million contract, no bid, to a friend of Donald Trump and a member of his administration, Ryan Zinke, the Secretary of the Interior. There were two people somewhere in the Dakotas. They had a company. They're friends with Ryan Zinke, and the main investor in that company, Whitefish, is a big donor to the Donald Trump campaign. As soon as the hurricane, the winds died down, they started working on a $300 million contract. They were charging $7,000 for one worker for 1 day in Puerto Rico in the reconstruction, and we got a hold of the contract and we kicked them out. And the people even started throwing rocks at the Whitefish vans and stuff for them to leave Puerto Rico. So because with the money they were charging for one worker, we could hire 14 workers, which means we could get back on our feet faster. But all of this has been under the supervision of the Puerto Rican governor, which is nothing but a puppet of the Trump administration and of Wall Street and Wall Street corporations. And he unashamedly hires specifically white American people to positions that can be filled in Puerto Rico and Puerto Rico's government and the reconstruction effort by Puerto Ricans, and done way more efficiently and probably for less money. But he doesn't care because he's just a puppet. And just another reminder: Julia Kelleher, the Secretary of Education in Puerto Rico. She refuses to advertise positions. Open positions for managerial posts or positions in the Puerto Rican Education Department in Puerto Rico. She's refusing to hire Puerto Ricans for managerial positions in the Department of Puerto Rico Education in Puerto Rico. So the racism and the spits on the face right after a catastrophe are egregious. So. That's what's going on in Puerto Rico right now with a racist Puerto Rican government, a Puerto Rican being racist against a bunch of Puerto Ricans, and an administration being racist against their own people. And that the video just surfaced. We don't need any help being discriminated against. The resident commissioner of Puerto Rico, Jennifer Gonzalez, she was just openly mocked and disrespected by, I believe his name is Mike Rogers. He's a Republican from Alabama, another one of this Republican scumbag, racist Republican Christians, openly mock her on national TV and shaming her for her accent. So, this is what's going on with Puerto Ricans and Puerto Rico, and in a nutshell, as far as the negative stuff goes. And it's necessary that we talk about the negative stuff so that it gets corrected. As far as the rest of what's going on, we're fighters. We're going to make it. We just wish there weren't so many assholes trying to take advantage of us, namely the United States Congress, at Wall Street, and the United States President, and the rest of the scumbags and the racist assholes who think it's okay to step on us while we're down.